And we are live here on the Country Moose Facebook page, on our YouTube channel, and at 939kia.com. Jesse with you here for another Country Moose Quarantine, and joining us tonight for a quote-unquote happy hour edition of the show. Emma White is on, country newcomer Emma White. Hey, how are you tonight, Emma?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Hey, I appreciate you joining us here for Country Moose Quarantines on a beautiful Tuesday night here in Iowa and southern Minnesota, and I know it's the same down in Nashville from what I heard earlier in the day. So it's great to have you on.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you so much for playing my song, That's Why I Drink.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
And we're having a little happy hour edition. You sent me some wine in a can. So
this is Bev. it's so yummy. But yeah, so I sent you one of these to enjoy, and cheers as well. Yeah. Cheers to the song.
Cheers to the song. So I don't mind having a little bit of wine on a Tuesday night. I'll take it. So
yeah, it's so easy to drink. It's like kind of deceiving. I think the carbonation like gets you.
I'm more of a whiskey guy. Don't get me wrong, but I will drink some wine every now and then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you throw a little bit of alcohol my way, I'm good. Not that I'm a lush or anything, but I don't mind drinking a little bit here.
I'm not really a whiskey guy, but I love margaritas. I love tequila, margaritas, and wine. Okay. Kind of my go-to.
Well, nothing like tequila margarita. It is Taco Tuesday, so I guess we should have like both cooked up some tacos, had some margaritas, some wine. We could have really made this like a huge happy hour.
Probably, yeah. We don't want to get sloppy on here.
No, we don't. Let's not talk about that. Let's move to other stuff. Let's talk about you and your music. First off, I know you mentioned the new single, and we'll talk about That's Why I Drink here in a little bit, and I'm sure we'll hear you play it a little bit later on. But why don't you just tell us kind of the background on you, your music, and how you got started?
So I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland, and I moved to Nashville in 2011. I never really thought back then that I'd be doing country music, but kind of like I told you, all the signs were pointing to Nashville, even when I tried to reject them. Mm-hmm. So I had a couple opportunities where I flew down here and started to co-write, and then I went to music school in Boston. I went to Berklee College of Music, and then I moved down here. But yeah, I just came from like a really musical family. My mom pursued music and came to Nashville when I was a kid, and we were always writing songs together. And kind of my whole family was into music. And once I got down here, I ended up starting. After several years, I ended up starting a record label called White House Records. So that's my independent label. And we've been going at it for like 2 years now. So we have an EP out called The Actress, and this single, That's Why I Drink. And we just released another single called Can I Call You Then, which is on Spotify and Apple Music and all that. So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and I was going to bring up the EP, The Actress, and great stuff on there. It really sounds awesome. And I know you were named one of Rolling Stone's 10 New Country Artists You Need to Know, and just some great honors you've already gotten in just a couple short years.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun. I was always kind of wanting to do this label thing on my own, but and I was an independent artist for a while. But then I've met a partner who was interested in what I was doing, and that kind of led to this EP. That's kind of the first thing we recorded, this The Actress EP. And
sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I know you got your guitar hiding there somewhere. I don't know if we want to maybe jump in and have you play a couple for us. Maybe start off with one, just to get going here tonight for Country Moose Quarantines. Why don't you? What's maybe a first song you want to play for us?
I guess I'll do That's Why I Drink.
All right, let's kick it off with that one then. Brand new single. Why not?
Okay. Sometimes it's the dishes in the sink, and sometimes it's about the news I read, but most times it's all the things I can't change. Sometimes it's what I didn't do, and most nights it's 'cause I'm missing you. It's always different, but always the same. That's why I drink, to get lost and not think, to get gone, get out of my head, take off the edge for a little while. Not to get drunk, just unwind and untangle my mind. I try to remember, I try to forget. That's why I drink. Sometimes it's the writing on the wall, and sometimes it's what I didn't see at all. It's always different, but always the same. Yeah, that's why I drink, to get lost and not think, to get gone, get out of my head, take off the edge for a little while. Not to get drunk, just unwind and untangle my mind. I try to remember, I try to forget. That's why I drink. That's why I drink. It's always different, but always the same. Yeah, that's why I drink, to get lost and not think, to get gone, get out of my head, take off the edge for a little while. Not to get drunk, just unwind and untangle my mind. I try to remember, I try to forget. That's why I drink.
Awesome stuff.
You went away.
I purposely went away.
I looked up and I was like, where'd he go?
I purposely went away to give you the full screen. That's the cool thing I could do with this with StreamYard.
It's so funny that this virtual, we've all pivoted pretty seamlessly to this virtual world, and I still, it's funny because it's like
well, rest assured, you were live, and you're still live on Facebook.
I saw comments pop up on here. I'm like, oh my god!
Yeah, Jeff Jones chimed in, said loves your voice, soulful and smoky is how he put it.
Thank you, Jeff Jones.
And Logan checked in with cheers, so cheers for that too.
Cheers, Logan.
But no, that's awesome.
It really spilled.
What's that? Oh, you just spilled?
Spilled.
This is the other thing I love about these, is that these are kind of uncensored and just fun. That's the whole point behind the quarantine.
That's what I was going for.
So, tell me about that song a little bit. Tell me the story behind that one, if you can. Tell us a little bit about That's Why I Drink.
So That's Why I Drink. So I wrote that song because I wanted to write a drinking song that was like really raw and honest, and not like another party drinking song. I wanted it, like, it feels like a party song, but if you listen to the lyrics, it's definitely not. It's a little bit darker. Just because I feel like sometimes you lean on certain things, whether it's like, I don't know, anything, like just some kind of habit that you lean on because you're stressed or you're anxious, or like, and it's weird, like the lyrics are really kind of they're applicable to everything we're all going through right now, because everything feels so uncertain and rocky all the time, and unpredictable. And that's what I was trying to capture with the song. Just like, why do people drink? And it's not always like a good thing. It's not always like to party. It could be just because they're like going through something and they're kind of using it as a crutch. And so I wanted to like talk about a different side of it than what we normally hear.
And I think you're correct in that. I think there's not enough people that talk about that, and talk about the different, like drinking songs don't have to all be the rah rah shots and fun and party. There's some other reasons why people drink, whether it's addiction or heartache or
Yeah.
down the line. So that's really cool. You kind of shine a light on that.
Well, I think I felt like I needed to, no one drinks in my family, really. And so I was kind of always like, I guess, self-conscious and like monitoring my own drinking. So I just like, it's always on my mind, like trying to just like be able to do it, but not overdo it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that makes total sense. Total sense. Well, we got Country Moose Quarantunes going on right now. If you're just joining us, Jesse Allen with you here from the Country Moose. We're live on our Facebook page, YouTube channel, and 939kia.com. Emma White, our guest tonight. Emma, let's talk a little bit more about your EP, The Actress. And I know got a lot of acclaim from that, especially the single 10-Year Town. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so that song was like pretty quick to write, actually, and I had recorded this voice memo in my phone one day, and I called it Dog and Pony Show. And I kind of had like the first couple lines to the song, but I didn't know where to take it really. And so I brought it to a co-write, and I usually just throw out like a couple things, and my co-writers were immediately drawn to this idea. And we all had kind of this shared experience of being in Nashville and having come to Nashville over 10 years. And so like my co-writers and I, we just all kind of related to the struggle of trying to make it basically and stay true to yourself in a town that kind of expects you to fit in. And so it was just, I don't know, it was like we were all just like pouring our heart out that day. And that's how we wrote 10-Year Town. And it's really, for me, it's like more about not feeling bad about, or not feeling down on yourself for not having done something in like the way that everyone says you have to do it. And like maybe you take longer doing something, or maybe like a dream takes longer for you than it does somebody else, but it's not a bad thing. Kind of just like standing in that and like being proud of that, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes total sense. Total sense. I'd love to hear the song if you want to play it for us. I think that'd be great. I think what a lot of people don't realize is just how long it can take some artists in town in Nashville to really get noticed and recognized. Some can do it, in a matter of a couple years, and it's like lightning in a bottle, and it's really great. But then there's some who move to Nashville and they spend 10 years, 15 years grinding and grinding and grinding, and then poof, their big break comes, whether they end up being a major songwriter or major artist or whatever the case. So it's amazing when you hear all the stories and you really dive into it.
Yeah, and you realize like the longer you stick around, it's like more true that people have been here for a very long time. I think it can just be hard to like grapple with that when you're going through it. But yeah.
I mean, thinking you're going to move to town and have success, instant success within like 6 months or a year. Sometimes you need the reality check a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I would love to hear the song. If you want to play 10-Year Town for us, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, this is 10-Year Town. So I wrote this with Brinley Addington and Neil Medley, and Brinley's also an artist. And I wrote that's why I drank with them too. So
Brinley's fantastic, by the way.
I love him.
He's so good.
Human too. Great dude. This dog and pony show, I don't really know if I got what it takes. First you sell your soul, then you hit the road. Another ass to kiss, a hand to shake. They don't hear a hit yet, so they don't think you're it yet. And they don't play girls anyway. When you're all in, there ain't no way, yeah. Keep saying any day now, but how long this takes is anybody's guess. No, that ain't how bad you want it. Praying for a moment, yeah, you still might be an overnight success. Pay your dues, wait your turn, no guarantees. It's all I've learned after 12 years in a 10-year term. Try to fit the mold, that's how this story goes. Be just like them, but just like you. Forget what got you here, 'cause that won't work this year. Don't be too young, too old, or too brand new. Don't think no one would notice if I went back home, but you're all in, there ain't no way. Keep saying any day now, but how long this takes is anybody's guess. No, it ain't how bad you want it. You're praying for a moment, yeah, you still might be overnight success. Pay your dues, wait your turn, no guarantees. So I've learned after 12 years in a 10-year time. They told you they don't get it, now they're taking all the credit. When you're all in, there ain't no way. Keep saying any day now, but how long this takes is anybody's guess. And no, it ain't how bad you want it. You're just praying for a moment, yeah, you still might be overnight success. Pay your dues, wait your turn, no guarantees. So I've learned after 12 years, 10 years.
Great stuff. Yeah. Great stuff. And it's so true. Yeah, it's so true. And I don't think people, like I said, they don't realize it, how much work it takes for a lot of artists behind the scenes and how long it could take for some people.
Yeah, it's definitely a lifelong journey, I think. But there are stories where I think the stories you hear more are the ones that happen like that, and
Yep.
that's what's deceiving. But yeah.
But there's even some of those that happen just like that, that there's still quite a bit of grinding behind the scenes
Oh,
that people don't know about either.
yeah, sometimes I wonder, like I'll just think of an artist and I'm like, oh, I want to be at that level. But then I do think like, I wonder what that specific grind is when they're at that level, and like the intensity of, like, I just wonder what that's like too.
Well, and then there's some that are just they seem like they're overnight success, and then there's some like Chris Stapleton's a prime example. Like how many years was he just with the Steel Drivers and then songwriting and getting no, and then all of a sudden, boom! Like
Yeah.
overnight, he went from top songwriter to superstar.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It really is.
I remember when his album came out, I remember just kind of being like, oh, who's that?
And then you dig a little deeper, you go.
Like I remember literally like sitting down and seeing his album on my phone, and I was like, who is that? Like it's just so funny when you remember those moments.
Yeah, and then you listen to it, and then you dig deeper, and you find out like, oh, okay, this guy's written songs, had number ones for so and so and so and so down the line, and then it's like, wow, okay,
yeah.
It's amazing stuff. It really is. Emma, I guess I'm curious, what would be, and this might be a hard question for you to ask, but what's probably your favorite song you've written and released to this point?
Probably 10-Year Town. That's like my favorite.
Sure.
Just because it was the most honest song, kind of like unapologetically so, and I was afraid that people would be mad at me for being so honest.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't. They were like, "Oh yeah, like it's honest. That's okay." So yeah, that's probably my favorite.
What's probably the one that's the most fun for you to play? Like whether you're out live with the band or out, on your own on a solo show, what's the most fun song for you to play?
The most fun song. I have a song called "Not That Into You" that is sort of like a very tongue-in-cheek fun song.
Okay. Tell me about that song a little bit. I don't know if I listened to that one yet.
So I kind of told you before, I sort
Yeah.
of grew into country. Like I didn't know that I
Mhm.
wanted to do country. Um, I wrote this song "Not That Into You" when I was in LA, and I was very obsessed with Katy Perry at the time.
Okay.
And I still love her very much, but I was sort of like everything she did, I was like following, and every song she wrote, I knew the words to, and
Mhm.
I kind of wrote this song thinking like, if I were Katy Perry, what would I write? And that's how the song came about.
Okay. You want to play it for us?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Emma White, our guest here at Country Blues Quarantunes. Emma, take it away again.
Was it something I said that gave you the green light? Yeah, I have a tendency of coming up too nice. I'm not playing games so hard to get, trying to figure out which signs you misread. This ain't love, baby, just a minute. I'm not sure what to say, except you need to pump the brakes. Yeah, because the more you push, the more I pull away. I've been seeing other guys, like 3 and 4 at a time, and I don't wanna be tied down to only one or two. Yeah, I might be lonely, but I'm just not that into you. I didn't come here to find Mr. Right. Yeah, it's only 10 p.m. on a Tuesday night. Never saw a kiss coming in like that. Didn't know a kiss could end up so bad. This ain't love, baby. We just met, and I'm not sure what to say, except you need to pump the brakes. Yeah, because the more you push, the more I pull away. I've been seeing other guys, like 3 and 4 at a time, and I don't wanna be tied down, only one or two. Yeah, I might be lonely, but I'm just not that into you. And I can't see the wheels turning in your head. You're looking sorry, I bet you're taking me home to bed. You see, I have 2 kids and I'll wait, pick his spots. But last night is where our story ends. And I'm not sure what to say, except that I don't feel the same. I was making conversation, and I thought that you seemed cool. I've been seeing other guys, like 3 and 4 at a time, and I don't wanna be tied down, only one or two. Yeah, I might be lonely, but I'm just not that into you.
I dig it. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Very, very tongue in cheek, like you said, kind of like I get the Katy Perry vibe on that one for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
It's like kind of a wink with
Yeah,
everyone. Yeah.
it's like a nod and a, that kind of thing.
Yeah, a non-flirtatious wink.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I wrote that song several years ago, and I just feel like for girls, it can be like you're not considered very polite if you're that blunt, but I think sometimes you have to be that blunt. So the way I recorded it initially was kind of like more in a Katy Perry way, but I would love to do like more of a country production on it now because
sure.
I guess like where I'm at now, I wouldn't play it the same way. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Well, and truth be told, obviously, country is experimenting with pop sounds and all these different sounds lately. So, I really don't think anything is necessarily off the table in how you want to produce a country song these days. I
Yeah.
mean, some people might cringe when I say that. They want the more steel guitar, fiddle,
Yeah.
traditional, but I think there's nothing wrong with evolving music.
I know. I kind of everyone taking sides. It's almost like politics. It's like
Yeah.
no point to talk of like or even like to take sides with music just because I feel like
Mhm.
I love traditional country music and I also
Same.
love pop country music and I'm kind of
Mhm.
like you do you, you know?
Yeah. I'm a total 90s baby. I grew up on 90s country, and that's what I absolutely love to death.
Yeah.
But I like some pop country stuff. I like some traditional stuff and modern, like rock based country and everything else. Like I love it all. Throw it all at me. I enjoy it.
I know.
So
I think there's a place for all of it. We don't need to like bash each other.
I agree. I agree. Emma, so coming up, I will probably play one more song, I think, before we run out of time. But just for you, obviously, you're working through the single right now. Uh, Talk about like what's ahead for you the rest of the year into next year. Like, what are some of the plans that are on the table for you guys?
So I really want to release a full length album. Uh, I've never had a release that's more than 7 songs.
Hmm.
So I really just want to work toward an official debut album. I still believe in albums. But yeah, so I released a single, Can I Call You Then? So we kind of have like, That's Why I Drink at radio right now. And we just released a new song to streaming platforms. So I may release a few new videos for those songs. But really, I'm just focusing on getting songs together for a full record. That's what I want to do. And I feel like artistically, even I'm finally in the space to have like a longer project. So yeah, that's kind of my main focus right now.
Well, for one more song, you want to play something you're working on, or maybe play that new single you dropped to streaming? I don't know what you want to do for one
Yeah,
more song,
um,
but
I'll play the new song that we released. Yeah, this is Can I
yeah.
Call You Then? Sure, the right key. Can I call you then? It's right. Okay. This is Can I Call You Then?
All right, here it is.
Don't know where your head's at, one night to the next. Holding on to me when you're still stuck on your ex. You're living like the past is all you ever get. I want you, but not like this. Can I call you then? When your favorite defense scene, her and how that whole thing ended. When you can hang up all of your hang-ups and tell me what you want, yeah, I'll call you then. Over's really over, done is really done. You can hang out sober, more than just fun. I want this to work, but right now it can't. I hope you see you again. Can I call you then? When your favorite defense scene, her and how that whole thing ended. when you can hang up all of your hang-ups and tell me what you want. Yeah, I'll call you then. Maybe it's tomorrow, and it could be next week. No, I ain't trying to rush you, babe. Take all the time you need. Can I call you then when the timing ain't so wrong? Yeah, then when I start moving on, 'cause I can't hang up all of your hang-ups and tell me what you want. Yeah, I'll call you then.
Awesome. Emma White, our guest tonight here on Country Moves Quarter Tunes. And I appreciate you joining us very, very much. Emma, tell everyone watching and everyone at home where they could find you online, social media, all your music, all that good stuff.
Yeah, you can follow me at Emma White Music. That's kind of on every platform. Instagram is probably where I'm more active. I have this new texting thing that if you go to my Instagram, you can get my phone number, which is kind of crazy. So we're just like very connected right now. But yeah, follow me on Spotify. If you go to my Instagram or website, you can kind of find links to everything. But
I just found it. I will put this up on the screen. You can find Emma very easily on Instagram. Give her a follow. I just did. So we'll make that super easy for you. It's Emma White Music. You can find her everywhere. Great stuff. Emma, I appreciate it again. And thanks for sending the Bev.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. We probably should do one more cheers. What do you think?
Cheers. Okay.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To us. Thank you so much for having me and for playing the song. I really appreciate it.
You're very, very welcome. And again, everyone, check out Emma White. Find her music, emmawhitemusic.com, and Emma White Music on all the socials. And again, a virtual round of applause for our guest tonight, Emma White.
Thank you. It was really nice to meet you. Let me know when you're in Nashville.
Definitely. I'll have you hang on for a second. We'll go to the backstage and we'll sign off Facebook and YouTube. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight for Country Moves Quarter Tunes. We really appreciate it. Have a great night.